So who do we have coming up next, Deborah?
All right, we have two people that are coming up to talk about SmartPlans, and that's Kendall Nash and Lisa Warfield. Kendall is a successful agent that serves her market center tech trainer in Louisville Highlands. She specializes in first-time homebuyers and loves taking care of other people and serving other people. Lisa is a successful agent and rainmaker who serves as a market center tech trainer out of Louisville East. Lisa is passionate about technology and will also be leading the training on campaigns tomorrow. So Lisa and Kendall are starting off with SmartPlans. Thank you all.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for everything. This was awesome. I know people got a ton out of it. So I really, really, really appreciate your sharing with everybody. And so Lisa and Kendall, do we have you both here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Awesome. We're handing it over to you to go over SmartPlans.
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, great. Because I tried a new Bluetooth connection. Just want to make sure I'm all good. So I'm Kendall. I was started here in our dashboard to show you how to get right into SmartPlans. So it's this little icon over here with the, it always reminds me of like an award for a spelling bee or something because it looks like something from elementary school. So you click on that and then you are immediately opened up into your people plans. Those are the only ones that are currently active. You will see we have referral plans coming, opportunity plans coming, and listing plans coming. And we will be able to coming soon. We can't give you a date just yet, but they are coming soon. So you can have some already populated SmartPlans, and then we'll be able to make your own under those categories as well. So you can see here, I have already pulled all of the SmartPlans that are available in the library. So we're going to pretend those aren't there. And we're going to go up here to the library to start to show you all the ones that are currently available that are standard in your in command. Here they all are. These are already all put together for us. It's very simple to pull them over. You will have to pull them over. The library will eventually be populated with many, 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 many more. If I'm not mistaken, this is where when we are able to freely share them, this is also where they will land. Is that right, Shannon?
They're actually going to be in the marketplace, right?
Oh, I thought that was, they will be.
Sorry, ask me the question again. I was answering a chat question.
That's okay. I'm so sorry.
Good.
When we are able to freely share SmartPlans among each other, will they be in the library?
So that's an exciting feature that we have coming. So coming soon, many of you may have heard that we're going to be able to share SmartPlans between from Rainmakers, but we have actually slightly changed the plan on that. And so coming soon, you are going to be able to share, all agents will be able to share SmartPlans to all agents, and that will be in the marketplace. So we're looking at maybe like sometime it's by the end of summer, let me say that. We always hope that it'll be a little bit sooner, but sometime soon it's going to be in the marketplace. So look for that rollout, and you'll be able to share all amongst each other. We'll have lots and lots of SmartPlans coming.
And so actually this is where you would go to find this little store icon up here at the top. And I should have started with, anytime you see a Kelly guide, take the time to go through it. You're going to learn something. If it's brand new to you, you're definitely going to learn something. If you've used it before, you're going to learn something new. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. We'll go back. So I'm here in the library. To move these over to my SmartPlans, you just have to, like, I've already done all of these. So it's going to say it's already in there, but you just click on Add SmartPlan. You can change the name if you want, and you hit Apply. It's telling me that mine are already over there because, oh, here, I'll change the name. So we'll call it one, and then I hit Apply, and it'll pull it over. And then you can pop back over to your My SmartPlans tab, and it should all be, they're not all going to show up on one page, so you have to scroll over to your other page. And then there it is, My Long-Term Nurture one. So it pulls it over for you. So let's look at one of the SmartPlans. I'm going to My Monthly Neighborhood Nurture. This is one that I have. It's one that you should put everyone on your in your database. You want to make sure the neighborhood is in there and that being pulled in when I enter them, but I don't know if it's going back in the folks who were already in command, if it's triggering that to automatically pull in. So before you set somebody up there, and it won't let you if there's not someone. So for example, a neighborhood plan, let me show you what I did. I go too fast. My monthly neighborhood plan, I'm gonna go over here, and this is where you can add someone. Like say you just added someone and you're like, okay, I need to get them on this plan. Add contact. This says she has 0 neighborhoods, but you can select her, add to Smart Plan. The Smart Plans, because we work in large numbers of leads and contacts in our database, gives you the opportunity to not overwhelm yourself. So you can start, well, there's 2 things. You can start the plan now, which we will do for this person. But then, I'm telling you 2 things at once. You can start the plan now, or you can delay it if you're adding 1 person. So we're gonna delay it till tomorrow. Great, confirm it. Says right here, she's missing a neighborhood and an email address. She actually just needs to be archived. I don't really have any contacts for her. So I'm working on cleaning up my database. But what I want to show you as well, let's say you wanted to add multiple people. Let's select all. You can select all at once and you hit that. And so this will allow you to start the Smart Plan immediately, which means that every single person that you have chosen will start throughout the Smart Plan. They will get that immediate email, and then in 3 weeks, they will get another one, because that's how this plan works. You can start them on the same date or on a future date. And then what I always recommend, if you're adding a large number of contacts, to stagger them. So this explains it out. If you have 11 contacts that you're adding, you can say, we're going to stagger over the next few days. We want a maximum of 10 a day, and then it'll divvy them up over the days. So the first day there'll be 4 in there, the next day will be 4, and the next day will be 3 or 2 on my number of 10. So it allows you to control your workflow when you, let's say you work a home and garden fair. You probably don't want to contact 100 people every single time they have, there's an activity from the Smart Plan. So it allows you to break those up and control your work. So we're going to actually cancel that because we do not want to do that. And then let's go and actually just look at, so when you click on these little arrows, you can get a little overview of what is in each of the Smart Plans. You want to make sure if there's any automated text, if you want to use automated text, there is the option, like it does remind you to manual text, but Twilio, your Twilio account will send this out on your behalf and just makes it easy. It's incredibly cheap. Lisa, do you know how much it is per text?
Okay, so it's like 0.0006 cents a text.
It's 0.0079 cents.
There you go.
And that and just so you know that number can change. So when we say that, like, it depends on your market and your area in particular, and if that text is going international versus local, and so there are some minor tweaks to that number, but the standard number is 0.00795. And here's a quick tip on it, jumping in here. If you go into Twilio.com and you log in, there is a button to the right that says send this to a friend and you get $10 credit and they get $10 credit. When you first go in there and they take that $20, I've never spent another dime because so many people ask me to send them the link, and then we each get $10 credit. And so I'm telling you now that you can, somebody who's using Smart Plans in your market center, maybe right here in the chat, reach out to them and ask them to send you the link, and you're going to get $10 free credit, and they're going to get $10 free credit, and that adds up very quickly.
That is awesome.
Inside a market center. So everybody reach out to those people that you know, and you will have, it's basically free. So
that's awesome. That is such a good tip. I'm making my list of people to reach out to.
Doing it right now.
So the automated text makes it easy, and it's so cheap. It's cheaper than the amount of time it would take you to put in the phone number, in my opinion. You can put in, there's a 1-day delay. There's an interact, so let's see. This is a touch task, so it could be this says an email, so you can identify them in different ways. A touch task means you are trying to communicate with that person. Sorry about that, but there's also an actual phone call option, an actual email option. The touch task is just kind of a generic category that you can put anything under. It's all spelled out here, and you can see that on every single one of them when you go down. Are there any questions, Lisa?
Yeah, we have a couple questions. It says, when you choose select all in SmartPlans, is it going to add everyone in your database or only the ones showing on the screen at that time?
It should choose all of them.
If she selects all, it's going to be all of whatever appears right there. And if you look, it's only one of 20. Like right there, because she's got
it is. I'm sorry. It is only the one showing. The other, I mean, there's honestly not going to be. I have a lot of people who need to be cleaned out of my database, like probably a lot of us do. So there's probably not going to be a time that I actually want to try to select all. So what? But you can look. You can go to the second. You can go to the next page, and it you can select them.
I don't know what the amount is, but there is a limit of how many that they will do at one time. But you can go in and do it again.
It's a 50-person limit, and that is also hopefully going away very soon.
So, you know, I primarily use the tags though. So if I have like 7 investors who are looking for the exact same property. So I would just go in here and hit that tag and find my right tag, click that, and then add to SmartPlan. And that way, if you're using your tags well, there's a really great resource page to you know, make sure you have all these great tags in one of the Facebook pages. I'll find it so we can put it in the Google Drive. But you can go in and edit your tags much easier than you used to and clean it all up. I have a couple where I'm like buyers and they're duplicate. So the tags are going to be really helpful in delineating who you want to send to. If you're doing a mass email to one person, well, that's changing too, so I'm not even going to talk about that. Okay, so let's see. Let's try. So this is all the standard ones that are in there. Let's look at how to create one. Let me show you these others. So you can copy. So let's say, like I have one in here. I have an 8x8 COVID for my sphere, and then I have an 8x8 COVID for non-sphere. So if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to create one more COVID one for vendors, I could copy it. I could change that title. A lot of these are going to be the same. I would just need to go in and change a little bit of the language so that it is obvious that it is my vendors, but this is what it has. So it just automatically copied this over, and to go in and actually change some of those. So like I said, I want to tweak a little bit of those when I'm sending the vendors. You go into edit, and this is what it looks like. And so let's just say I wanted to say, how is business? Could do that. Let me move this little thing out of the way. Hit save. And then there's my vendor specific one. And then of course, it's just in there now. I would still have to add people either here or through the individual contact. I can show you how to do that in just a second. Okay, but let's go back and look at how to create one from blank to nothing, or from nothing to something. So we'll say this is a test. Oh, I already tried this earlier. This morning, test 1. It's thinking. Are there any questions while it's doing its thing?
Nope, you're good to go.
I'm going to refresh this and see if that helps. Sometimes, there we go.
Hey,
Okay.
It's a Tuesday. For those of you guys who don't know, we update on Tuesdays, so you never know what you're going to get.
It's like Christmas every Tuesday. So So let's say I'm just going to create an open house one because for a place to start. So let's say the first thing I want to do is actually the first thing I do for my open house people, I accidentally dragged that over there, but no worries. I went to, I isn't doing it. Oh, here we go. I wanted to text them actually first, so I would move that up. So just in case you didn't catch what I did there. So the first thing I do after a physical open house, not a virtual one, is send a text to everyone that came through, thanking them for coming through and seeing if they had any more questions about the house or the neighborhood. So I could type all that out, neighborhood questions. If I wanted to personalize it, I would put, and I'm doing this a little bit backwards, and I hope Shannon doesn't get mad, but it's okay. Sometimes our brains don't work that way. There we go. So you'd say, hey, well, let me try that again. The function are the merge fields. So if I wanted their first name, hey, so if obviously they would have to be entered into command. So the very first thing I'm doing is entering everybody that came through the house in command. The second thing I'm doing is setting them up on this open house smart plan. So you could say, it'd be like, hey, first name, great to see you today. Do you have any neighborhood questions? And all of the merge fields are there. All of the main, so the more that you can enter, the easier it is for you to systemize your work. So the first thing is a text. I do not want to call them on the same day that I have a text. I'm going to put a delay in there and you just click it. You won't see it. You have to scroll down to see it. But then if it's not in the place you want it, you can just hit move up. There's no other below it, so it won't let me move it down. You can delete it or you can save it. So we're going to move this up because I want to set a delay. The maximum you can set is 30 days. You cannot do back-to-back delays. So if you wanted a 45-day delay, you would have to do another workaround. You could set this at 30. You could put in just a task. Let's see, we set this at 30. It's not letting me type it. There we go, 30. And then if I wanted to extend a little bit, this would be my workaround. Is say it is a non-touch task, and we are adding to extend delay. And then you can add another delay underneath it. And again, go up to 30 days. So that would be the workaround for extending those. So anyway, you have the task. This is a very, like I said, a kind of a catch-all bucket for the task. So if it was you might do the phone calls for your regular quarterly calls, but if it's a specific follow-up phone call, you might want to use this instead of the phone. So I had not ever used the function on the task name until Shannon showed me how much time it can save me. So so let's say this task name is to follow up and make sure that, a surgery went well on a client that you've been working with for a long time and you want to make sure everything's good. So if you can say, call, and you can put their phone number and ask how surgery went. So then when it comes up here on your bell, it'll actually have, instead of what I used to do, just had call, and then I would have to go into their contact and find their info. It'll actually say, call Joe at whatever and ask how surgery went so it kind of just saves time. You don't have to navigate between screens. And then anywhere there's an asterisk, those are things that are required. You won't be able to save the plan until those parts are filled out. And you cannot put in dates. So we're just talking about putting in how many days, in how many days is it due? Let's say you had something that was, I can't really think of an example that where you would have a hyperlink and follow up on someone's surgery, but if there was a hyperlink that was related to that, you could put that here. Let me grab one real quick.
I would say, Kendall, while you're grabbing that, like if let's say it wasn't about surgery, let's say it was maybe about a house. So you're going to do a call for like to follow up. You might put a hyperlink to your landing page on that house so that when that task came up, you can just click there and look at what you're talking about and have it in front of you.
There you go. So thank you, because I was struggling to find a hyperlink for a surgery example. So that's a perfect opportunity or another way that it's just going to save you time when you're putting all of your information right there from the get-go. So again, to create a task, the way that I use it, and there's no right or wrong way to use these things, as long as you're using it to grow your business. Everybody's going to use it a little bit differently, but I would use create a task as those one-off things that I just need to make sure are in people's that are scheduled for people. Let's see, and then we have to make a call. You can do the same thing, fill in your functions. What else do we have over here? We have send an email. That's what this looks like. This is where they will reply to. You have to make sure that, this gives you a little warning. You have to make sure that your command email address is updated in settings, and it even gives you the link to go there in case it is not. You will see that you have the option of doing a simple or an HTML. Simple is kind of what you see, the text if you're going to type it out. HTML. You see when I switched to HTML, this little email template came up. You can hit Browse Library for email template. It's just loading all the beautiful updates for us. Okay, I'm going to try to refresh. I know. Oh, it did not save any of that. That's beautiful, but no problem, because we were just talking about the email. So we'll go back over here and try that again. There we go. So then this is the template. So just because I did that quickly, all I did was I selected email and then I hit that HTML option instead of the simple option. And then this brings you into the available templates. This is the only place to get those. These are not in design. We confirmed that yesterday, I think. Correct? Is that correct, Lisa?
What was the question, Kendall? I'm sorry.
The question was, these specific templates are only available here. They are not available in designs.
Yes. Lisa, did you find anything different?
No, I didn't. I went looking.
Yeah. So for now, this is what you have. Lots and lots more designs are coming.
Yes. So then you can just pick something. This is the promote your app one. You highlight it. There's a little blue line around it when you highlight it. You can preview it by clicking this little, I learned that this is called a hamburger in the technology world, and kind of 3 little lines or 3 little dots. And then this is what it'll look like on the recipient end. And of course, all of this will be filled in with your personal information from your marketing profile on command. But you can't edit these. This is what it looks like, but it just is what it is. Select that template. We hit next, and then your subject line. And then that's it. That's saved and ready to go, and it'll send out on the day that it's supposed to send out. So the other thing, when you're just to give you a little tour of all of this will show you how many days, steps, and touches are in your smart plan. Let me actually show you on one that is completely completed. Well, it's also on these little lines. It's also a list view. So this will show you how many days the entire smart plan takes to go through, how many actual touches there are. And when you open it, it'll show you which day you're on when you're actually in it. So this is day one. This day one, the delay also happened. So this is now day 15. So just to give you a little bit of a tour around the around this screen. So the other thing, the last two options on here, we've gone through all of these. We've done the set delay. So let's say you have an 8x8 from when you first meet someone, like I do with my COVID. Yeah.
I want to ask you to look at something when you get a second. You can open up anything that's editable. I want to ask you to look at something for a question on the screen, if you don't mind.
No, let's do it now.
Okay, so I want to look at those emails. Let's see. So if you can you add an email to this if you don't have anybody on it? Can you just add an email, send email at the top right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Add that step and then go all the way down and let's look at that. And if you will go into the HTML templates and go into the Library for Designs email template. Okay, can you click on that one in the top left and let's see if that's working right now?
Sure.
See if we can get that up then. Try. Okay, so somebody asked if you could create your own email templates, and so sometimes I have some things that are in test, and so what I can tell you is I'm testing that feature right now. I wasn't positive if I was testing it or if it was available to everybody at the moment, because I can't often tell the difference in my command. So as of right now, cannot create your own email templates. However, it is coming very soon. Whenever I get something to test, that's an indication it's coming soon. So hang in there.
Cool.
Okay,
I'm just
thank
going to
you.
delete that. Yeah, no problem. I'm just going to delete that back out. Okay, so let's just say we'll stick with this one. I have my client. This was for folks that I hadn't talked to in a minute. I went ahead and put them on this 8x8 when COVID started. And at the end, I did not do this, but we will pretend I did, and I'll show you how. You can add them, add to a smart plan. So then you have the option, so they've been through this 30-day 8x8. And then you can, if you wanted to add them to something else, I would, depending on the way everybody's going to have their own way of funneling people through. I would, if I don't know them, I would put them on a biweekly and quarterly plan. If I do, I'm going to do a monthly. And so then I would do that and I hit save. That piece is now added to this smart plan. And so as soon as this one is over, they'll automatically be put onto this smart plan. And then this smart plan goes in until I go in and make it stop, essentially. So that is that button. And then the last button is just to restart the flow. So if I wanted to do this 8x8 multiple times for people, which, you know, you might, you can restart the flow. You can choose how many times it repeats. And I don't know what the max is on it. Oh, unlimited. So you can do it up to six to unlimited. And let's say if you wanted to repeat 7 times, you just have to do 6, add another restart flow. Oh, can we do 2 restart flows back to back? Let's see, because we cannot do 2 delays. So let's say if we just wanted it to only do 7, because they maxed it at 6, it did not take. Let's just click it one more time. Oh, it doesn't look like it will.
Hey, Kendall.
Yes, ma'am.
Up at the top, when you're on the features, if you look where it says Smart Plan rules, like it's so tiny. See the tips and rules for, yeah, right there.
Oh, there we go. Instead of having to remember them, they're always right there to refer back to. Thanks, Lisa. So there you go. These are your rules and how, so you do not have to take time playing around and guessing. This is what happens.
Hey, fantastic tip, Lisa. I didn't even know that was there. I only knew that those tips came up when you make an error and it shows you. So awesome.
Yes. That is, I mean, SmartPlans, I feel, is really very intuitive for all of the pieces in Command. I feel like it's all pretty intuitive, but it's pretty simple to use. It's drag and drop. You can, you know, when I did my email, I made it, because I don't know these folks, made it super fun and pretty, and you can drop in all these things. And, you know, when I create ones that have all of these fun stuff in it, I do them in a Word doc, do all the hyperlinks over there, just because I prefer to do it that way. Everybody has their own method. And then when they folks get it, they can click on these links, right, to go exactly to those, taking a class at Harvard or whatever.
Hey, Kendall,
Yes, ma'am.
there's a question in the chat about adding images. Can you show where that is?
That is, correct me if I'm wrong, that is not possible yet. Is that right, Shannon?
That is correct.
Okay. That's what part of the reason I started to use emojis. And while there's not a little emoji button here, just a couple of tips that are outside of Command. There's two things. There's actually a fantastic Facebook group. Is it okay to show them that now, Shannon?
Sure.
There's a Facebook group called Command Database. So Shannon and the other tech regional, or maybe just Shannon, we're just going to say it's all Shannon because she's fantastic. Shannon has created this Command Your Database Facebook group that is essentially a deep pool of SmartPlans. You come, you join this group, you provide one free SmartPlan to the group. Shannon keeps a drive of them, and as soon as you contribute to one, you get access to that entire drive. So soon we're all going to be able to exchange freely, but right now this is how we're building up, you know, part of the way we're building up the library is to, and you can see there's a buyer lane, there's everything you could ever, my COVID-19 one is in here, there's an Ignite Smart Plan for retention, there's stuff for admin, there's stuff for team leaders, there's stuff for agents. So there's a lot of great stuff in here, and I highly recommend everyone join this group. It's also a great place to ask questions if you can't figure out something on SmartPlan in the SmartPlan features. And then the other thing that I want to show you, because I love these little emojis and it's just a fun thing to know about, is Emojipedia, where you can literally copy and paste emojis anywhere into anything and have them show up. So you can search whatever you want. And that's how I got all of those, because I wanted to do some pictures in these and we couldn't. So that was my workaround to have some visual like stimulation in the, you know, not make it just a boring thing to read. So those are that's really all I have. I mean, this is a pretty straightforward section of Command. Are there
I've got a couple of things I'll be happy to show, Kendall.
Want me to give you my screen?
That would be awesome.
Okay.
So when I was just talking about this, and so as I mentioned, sometimes I can't tell what I have that you may or may not have yet. And so I may be showing you something I'm not even supposed to show you yet. So I'm not real sure yet. And sometimes I can't tell who's got what. So because I get to try some things and make sure they're working. And so I'm just going to say, I'm going to show you what I got, and you're going to have to check it out and see if you have the same thing. And if you don't be discouraged. That just means that something is coming soon that you want. So a couple things happened over the weekend. If you noticed, when you go to campaigns, we have now the ability to create a new campaign. And you may or may not have this. I don't think everybody has it, but I think it's rolled out to a test group. When I clicked email there and I say demo here, and I come down, I have now the ability to command email it or to MailChimp it. So you can send your email campaigns through command email now. And so that's kind of a new feature that we have. And so because people pay a lot of money for MailChimp. So this is something that can save you a lot of money. So when I create this new command campaign, and I'm going to look at the questions in just a second. If anybody has problems hearing me or anything else, please let me know because I'm not looking at the questions at the moment.
They said it's not in command. It's not in their command yet.
Okay, well, so there you go. So this is a new secret feature that we're testing, and so check it out. And we'll just leave it here. And so we've got command email, MailChimp, and now I'm going to set up a campaign. This is an email campaign. And so this is what it's going to look like. So this goes back to the image questions. So I can come in here and configure this email campaign, and I get a preview over here. Can select from my list. I can have more than one list. If you know that MailChimp, we're limited to one list for our free accounts. So I can actually have more than one list in here. I do know that. And I have not even used this yet. It's so new. I can say who it's from, the subject, but here's the really cool part. I can select a design content for my email. So when you click there, you go, okay, well, there's no design content. You have your newsletters. That's all right now. And so yet in designs, I also have this new email template, which I will walk you through and show you. So let's see if it'll let me create it from here. So this is the new email template that you're going to get, and it works real similar to your agent sites. So you can drag and drop. You can type in here. You could insert HTML in here if you're coding and you want to do some fun stuff. And the most important thing that everybody wants is this, the image section. So as soon as I click that, I will drag and drop it over, and we can then put an image in there and add and select the image that we want to use. So I know it's not available right now, and I want you to be excited because it is coming. This is super, super close. So it may look slightly different when it rolls out, but your email images and templates and your email signatures and everything can be done right in here. So I look forward to announcing to you guys that it's out there. So
Shannon, we have a question, and then I also think that we should touch on the Kelly guide because I'm getting questions.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we need to start from the beginning.
Okay.
So you could touch on that, and then real quickly, Anne has a question. It says, if you use MailChimp, does it need to verify your contacts? Had a lot of trouble with them in the past, making me resend an email to all my contacts in order to send them an email. Very frustrating and would like to avoid this.
Okay, so I can't tell you about MailChimp is MailChimp, and it's just an integration into Command. So we don't have any control over how it works. So if it needed to do it in the past, probably going to need to do it in the future, unless MailChimp has changed something. Command doesn't have any authority to overrule anything that it would do. So my best answer to that would be, I think so. I think it's going to be exactly as it was before. And that's the reason that KW has been approved as a email provider. And that is not a simple thing. So some of these things seem so simple to all of us who are using it. And I'm going to tell you from a developer perspective, becoming an email provider is so challenging. And so that's what we've been working with on the scenes. And we just got approved. So you're going to see a lot of improvements with that. So I would say over the next 2 to 3 months. Once we get approval as an email provider, now we have to start all the building and the features that you guys have been wanting to use with that. So you're going to see lots more coming. So Kelly Guide, was that, Christina, specific to SmartPlans?
Yes.
Okay, so I would tell you, and I actually said this to all of the tech trainers yesterday, any place, anywhere that you have the ability to add a Kelly Guide, it is super, super important. And so I'm gonna ask whoever has noise in the background to mute your mic for me. And so when you come into the library in SmartPlans, you have this Kelly Guide. So the thing is, and I'm not sure if anybody has already shared this, but when you go into the Kelly Guide, you're connecting things behind the scenes. And so it can seem really easy to come in here and click add to SmartPlan. Now you've got your SmartPlans in your library. And there are things such as your emails and programming that this Kelly Guide is set to connect for you. So if something is not working, one of the first things we're going to ask you every time is, did you go through your Kelly Guide? And we're not asking that because we think that you're not capable of filling in the blanks. what we're asking that is because we know that the developers developed it a certain way, and that this literally may ask you for a little bit of a different set of information, or it may connect the dots in a different way. And so that's why I would say about the Kelly Guide. So walk through these steps each and every time, even though it may seem like it's super simple and you've already done it, go on through it. And so as this bar moves all the way across the screen, you've connected it. And so I'm going to go through each section and make sure that everything here is correct and that I'm okay with it. If it looks good, that's fine. Just keep clicking next, and you're going to see that bar will start to move across the screen as I get through. So we'll do that. Christina, do we have any more questions while I'm clicking these buttons?
Not at the moment.
Okay, good. So this is one example of something that it would tell you right here to connect your Twilio account. So if you're adding all of those smart plans to your library, but you haven't connected your Twilio account, they're not going to work. And so configuring your email. Smart plans go through command email. They do not go through MailChimp. And so you have to connect your command email. And so you're going to click all through all of this and see the guides going through. I can now enable any smart plans that I want to use. Yes, I have a ton of smart plans because I love them, and I think they're fantastic leverage for you to touch your database and to touch your leads in a way that does not require you to work anymore. And so I think that this is one of the greatest things that we have here as far as allowing us to work smarter, not harder. And so I'm going to click continue there. And now I've got it all filled out, and so everything is good. From here, I can choose to go into another section. Don't have to. Those are just suggested areas, or I can just close out right here, and now that Kelly Guide is done. One more thing I want to tell you is, and that Kelly Guide is different in each section. So it's not always the same. So because you've done it in Smart Plans does not mean you don't need to do it in agent sites. So, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow as well. One point, yeah, hold on one second. I want to make sure I make this point to everybody before I finish and lose my train of thought, because I have that brain. When you go into your settings section of command, there is a section, and I don't know if she went through this, so I'm going to go through it and make sure. Scroll all the way to the bottom, and you see at the very bottom, command email. Okay, so here we go, command email. Command email says it's connected. Everybody needs to double check this, okay? It's gonna say connected. Connected means that command email is connected to your campaign, or to your command. It does not mean that, it's a little different here, that it is connected the same as the other apps are. So what you need to make sure that you do is go into the manage button and make sure that you have filled this out, because a number of tickets come in and they say, oh, my smart plans aren't going out, and it's because your name and your email address are not here, and this must be a KW email address. So this has to be your KW email address, and if you do not use your KW email address, you still have to put your KW email address here, and you can forward those KW emails to your other address. So this is where it's going to send from. So make sure that you open that and you double check and make sure that's filled out. Christina, what questions we got?
You just answered it. They want to know if they had to use their KW email. So you read their mind. You do.
So I get that question a lot. You can forward your KW email in your My KW. So that is something that I will see about putting in maybe in the Google Drive, so that make sure that everybody knows how to do that, and help you out with that as well. You get 5,000 free emails per month, and so lots and lots of leverage there. Any other questions?